All right, good afternoon. I'm Mark Frizzell, the CEO headmaster here at Bachman Academy. I want to welcome all of our distinguished guests today that have joined us for National School Choice Week. Mr. Tom Rowland, our city mayor, Mr. Daniel Zavala, who is State Policy Director of Students First, Tennessee, Mr. Kyle Hout, who is the CEO executive at Orange Grove Center, and Keith Freilich. So we appreciate you guys coming out and supporting us today. We've got a video prepared today. Bridget, Miss Owen, our admissions director, she has prepared several students to get up and tell you what National School Choice Week means to them. I think it's very important that their message and the message that they're going to deliver today. So listen and we'll go from there. So once again, thanks for all of you for coming out and supporting us today. With that, I will let Mr. Pickrell show us the video.
President of National School Choice Week. Today, this program focuses on an issue that matters to every single family and every American. It's not about politics or any product. It's about the education we provide every single child in this country. Here's a frightening and frustrating reality. Every 26 seconds, another child drops out of school. And for students who do make it to their senior year in high school, 62% are not proficient in reading. More than 70% do not write at a proficient level. Too many kids are simply not prepared for the opportunities and the challenges of real life. It impacts moms and dads and kids. It impacts small businesses who need to hire folks. It impacts our communities and our economy. But let's not dwell today on the problems. Let's talk about solutions. We know what works. Giving parents, the people who know their kids the best, the power to choose the very best education for their children. It's called school choice. And as you'll see today and throughout this week, when parents have the power to choose the right education for their kids, great things happen. Students are inspired to learn. They achieve at higher levels, and they graduate prepared for real life. Telling these stories is what this event today and National School Choice Week is all about. It's about letting parents know what options they have for their kids' education and about raising awareness of the need for even more options for children and families. National School Choice Week begins today, right here at this event. The week will be the largest series of education-related events in U.S. history. There will be an unprecedented 11,082 events across the country. When we talk about school choice, we're talking about all of the options that parents have for their kids. Traditional public schools, public charter schools, public magnet schools, online learning, private schools, and homeschooling. Today at this event, you'll hear from students from all of those types of education environments. You'll hear how school choice changed their lives for the better. Each event during National School Choice Week is completely unique. The one thing though that's the same are these yellow scarves. They've become the national symbol for school choice, and millions of Americans will be wearing their School Choice Week yellow scarves this week. In fact, all of the 1,900 students, parents, teachers, and community leaders joining me here at the Florida Theater in Jacksonville are wearing their scarves, and it's time for me to put mine on too, because National School Choice Week begins right here, right now at this event.
So at this time, I want to have some of our students come up and tell you a little bit about what School Choice Week means to them. And the first person we're going to have speak is our student body president, Mr. Savion Clayton.
Hi, my name's Savion. And I just chose Bachman because, you know, it's a smaller group of students and the teachers are more laid back to work with you on your work if you don't understand. And I really like that about this school. See, in public school, I couldn't really focus in my classes, so had a hard time. But here I get my work done. I'm an A and B student and I just like it. And in my opinion, your school shouldn't be determined on what side of the railroad tracks you live on. And yeah, I just like it.
Miss Ashley Chambers.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Ashley Chambers. I am from Charlotte, North Carolina. I have been going to Bachman Academy for about 2 years now. The first year I came here, I knew right away it was the best choice for me. The activities we do here, like mechanics, wood shop, or equine, are great. I feel like the adults here are encouraging and very helpful. Before I came to Bachman Academy, I was going to a school that wasn't teaching me my grade level. I knew I needed to catch up in my academics. So during the summer, my parents and I started looking for the schools. We decided to look at Bachman Academy and a school in Utah. But though the school in Utah was so far away from me, and it didn't have the provided school academics for me, I decided to choose Bachman Academy because it was close and it had the things I needed academically. This school helps my weaknesses and strengths every day, and I think I'm getting stronger every second of the day. I appreciate being here, and I'm proud to say that I am able to choose a school like this. Thank you and have a great day.
Roman Gross.
Hi, my name is Roman Gross, and I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I have attended Bachman Academy for just over 1 year now. I'm glad that my parents have sent me here. See, I had a hard time at my other school back in North Carolina. I was pulled from the public school system and went to homeschooling. I begged my mom and dad to send me back to public schools. And then we found out about Bachman Academy here in Tennessee. We toured the school and I said, yes, this is the setup we need because the teachers work with each student at their own pace. I actually thought that I would not graduate from high school, for my learning skills are not good enough to go to college and that I would get accepted. Now, with the help of Bachman Academy, I have confidence in myself that I will be more successful in life. I think that each state should have more schools like Bachman Academy. The school works with the students individually as a group. If a student needs more help in a subject, the teacher works with that student. The teacher says there's no real hurry to complete the task on a given time, unlike the public school systems who try to squeeze it as much in as possible in the semester or school year. For instance, in my biology class, we spent more time on cells and plant cells than the teacher had planned, but we needed that extra help on understanding the classwork. Bachman Academy also works on vocational skills such as equine, mechanics, agriculture, and woodworking. I think there should be more high schools that offer skills like these so that kids can get the experience and training that he or she could use after high school. Bachman Academy also helped me see how people who have different disabilities are just like myself and are still able to succeed in school and life. For those who are young and have never had experience living away from home, Bachman Academy has a friendly environment that helps kids be able to interact with people better. It was my choice to come to Bachman Academy, for I won't let people tell me I'm not smart enough to achieve my goals in life. I have seen improvements in my math and also all my other classes too. The teachers and staff are one of the big reasons why I want to finish off my school year at Bachman Academy. Thank you.
Madeline Thomas.
Hi, my name is Madeline Thomas. This is my first year at Bachman Academy. My parents had a choice to send me to this school here or a school in Sydney, Australia. However, I chose Bachman Academy because it has amazing outdoors activities and a remarkable hands-on program I needed as well. Another reason I wanted to go to Bachman is because I have a learning difference. The teachers here help me with skills so I can be more successful. Even if we need to be taken aside for extra time or help, the teachers will do so. I think very highly of the teachers and staff here at Bachman Academy. Most of my school years, I have gone to a private school, though this is the first time I've been a boarder. I was a little nervous for it being my first year away from home, though the people here will help you from anything from finding your class to being a friend to talk to. I enjoy how private schools are smaller. The teachers and staff here make sure to help you with your work, although they also push us to do our best. Attending this school has helped me not only grow in learning, but as a person as well. I have learned a lot more about myself, and my parents are also impressed about how much I've grown since I've come to Bachman. I have learned in life we have choices, and I hope to continue to make good choices like I have here choosing Bachman Academy. Thank you.
Seth Dimmer.
Hello, my name is Seth Demmer, and I am from Livonia, Michigan. I am a student at Bachman Academy. I have been going to school here for about 2 years, and from my opinion, this school has helped me a lot through not just academics, but also vocational classes such as horse, mechanics, equine, and woodshop. But that is not the only reason why I made a choice to pick this school. Before Bachman Academy, I had some trouble in other schools dealing with my learning difference after 6th grade. I found out about Bachman through my mom. When I first came to orientation in late August, I was kind of nervous because it was a new environment. At the end of 7th grade, I felt like my confidence had built up. At the beginning of the year of 8th grade, I was excited to return to school and see some of my friends and new students. So far, it has been a blast. Hopefully, after 8th grade, I could come next year and learn more about Bachman. The teachers here care about all the kids and including me. Even if I am not up to the task of an assignment, or an assignment, they still cheer me and want me to try and get it done. Another reason why I like school choice is because some of the stuff they have is out of the school is because they have some of the stuff that is out of the ordinary and different. The choice of picking a school is an awesome opportunity, and I think all schools should be like Bachman Academy, and all students should be able to pick their school that fits them. I thank you to all the teachers and friends for me becoming a better student. Thank you.
All right, so now we've heard from the student's perspective. Now we'll hear from a parent's perspective and ask Miss Dusty Webb to please come up. I gave you your sheet. Okay.
Oh, good afternoon. Everybody looks so handsome in their yellow scarves. That's the color of the year this year, huh? Until recently, I had never heard about School Choice Week or spent much time thinking about having a school choice or making the right choices for schools. Making choices, especially making right choices, have always been a part of my natural process of growing up and maturing through my 60-odd years, and we won't talk about that. It was one of the first things that I taught my young son as he struggled with life's simple choices, whether to sit or to stand, whether to tell the truth or whether to tell a lie, whether to steal or not to steal. Life is full of choices and consequences for not making right choices. In elementary school, who wants to color? Who wants to go out on the playground? Who wants to play football? Who's going to be a cheerleader? Choices everywhere. High school, who wants to go to college? Who's going to be a teacher? Who's going to be a doctor? Our life is full of choices. Choices and consequences are everywhere. We are very fortunate to be living in a time where choices for great opportunities prevail in all of our cities and states and towns. When I was 8 years old in 1953, and I know nobody in here remembers that year but me, but it's okay. My mom realized that math was really hard for me. There was only one public elementary school in our small town. She tried a neighbor teacher as a tutor, and that was not too successful. She did not give up. She visited a small Catholic school in a neighboring town. Our school had 4 classrooms, and within each classroom there were 3 grades. So it was a full 1 through 12, but we just had 4 classrooms. The ladies there just had a knack for teaching. They, like the teachers at Bachman, took each child individually. If you had trouble at the dining room table holding your fork or putting your napkin in your lap, they just very gently went around and helped you to do those things. They cared about your whole life, not just what you did from 8 till 3:30 when they could boot you out the door and get rid of you. I would never have described my mom as a warrior, but when it came to our education and our education weighed in the balance, she was a warrior. That was my first experience with school choice in 1953. That was a while ago. It turns out that choice is not a new idea. I've been making choices about schools all my life. Every adult in here has made choices. You chose where you went to college, you chose where you went to undergraduate school and where you went to your doctorate and how you got your degrees. Everybody had the opportunity to choose. Children don't usually have an opportunity to choose unless they have a warrior fighting for them. When it was time to go to nursing school, I was able to search the internet and read articles and make visits to campuses. Again, school choice for us. When my son came along, he was in a pretty typical elementary school setting and not doing so well. I didn't hesitate. I began to seek out school choices, homeschool tutors, reading clinics, special education classrooms. He continued to struggle, and I continued to search. You guessed it, school choices. You see, without knowing it, I was part of a movement to have free choices to seek out an appropriate education setting for not only myself and my further education, but for my son and for other children. I believe that making right choices are entwined in our life. They are the basic building blocks of each one of our character foundations, who we are, how we make our choices, when we make our choices, what choices we make. Here at Bachman, we have found a campus full of professional educators, ready to receive us into a program that they have been perfecting over the years. It seems to me just waiting until we could make the right choice. Sometimes you don't know if your choice is right for your child, and you don't know if it'll turn out the way you prayed it did when you made those choices. But last week, I got a little peek into how my choice is working. My son said, "Mom, I did not know that I could like teachers." Each school is not right for every student, but there is a right school for each child. School choice is a right, and it is our obligation as educators, as parents, as mentors for children. Our obligation is to find the educational setting that allows them to bloom and to grow into the productive citizens that they can all be. I have a son who reads on the very low level. He writes on a very low level. He just completed his Eagle Scout training. An Eagle Scout, 7 years, not knowing how to read very much and not knowing. But he had a father as a mentor. He had scout leaders. He had people who cared that he was successful. So he's done 150 miles on the Appalachian Trail. He has crewed a 42-foot Morgan sailboat through the Bahamas for 10 days. He has done 140 miles in the high mountain wilderness out in Philmont Scout Camp in New Mexico. These are not children who don't succeed. These are children who learn differently, who need successful teachers and successful leaders and mentors and helpers. Throughout the United States this week, we celebrate the education opportunity has grown to over 11,000 events in all states. Celebrating along with us this week are charter schools, magnet schools, STEM schools, public schools, private schools, prep schools, military schools. The United States has a plethora of educational choice, but a lot of times children with learning differences or parents are stymied by rules and regulations. We should not be bound by rules and regulation when it comes to educating the finest minds and the finest people in our nation, our young people. We can see on TV every night the consequences of bad choices. We see in the headlines in our communities and on our newspapers and in our hearts and in our families bad choices. Families not making good choices, not having an opportunity. The schools, a lot of times there's not in your little community. And frequently when you seek help from the school board or from the school district, you run into roadblocks and walls and you have to fight. But I encourage you to fight on and to fight hard for these beautiful children. Let's never stop making school choices and making the best schools available to all of those who choose to make a choice.
All right, so I have a couple more students that I want to present, and one first is Andrew Schweitzer.
Hello, my name is Andrew Schweitzer, and I'm from Matthews, North Carolina. The biggest decision for any parent in life is where their precious child should go to get the best education. They have the choice between public schools or private schools. I believe the best choice for me is the private school because private schools have a smaller environment with better education for some due to the small classes at Bachman Academy. There is no more than 7 kids to a class, and the bullying is very rare. The teachers usually are more involved in the school and the student's life, while at public school, sometimes there are 30 or more kids in a class, and sometimes people hear about is fights and people getting bullied. Also in a public school, Christianity or anything that has to deal with religion or God isn't allowed to be talked about. While here at Bachman and many other private schools, all religion is encouraged, anything that has to deal with God. While being here at Bachman, my grades have improved, my behavior has changed, and my friendship with God has gotten stronger. There has been a lot of change here since I first started here 4 years ago, but that change was very good. They remodeled a few dorms, got rid of that basketball court and put something safer there, and helped a lot of people, including myself, with our behaviors and having a positive attitude. My parents had looked at other schools to send me to, but they liked what Bachman had to offer. They offered to give me a better look at the future, change my attitude, and basically give me the best education.
John Bowlby.
Hi, I'm John Bowlby. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. And coming to Bachman was more of a suggestion from my parents than a demand. Ultimately, it was my choice to come here. Advantages of a private school are less people in a class, more one-on-one time with the teachers. I feel I can get a lot more done. Let's see. When I first came, I brought my bike to school because we have a huge campus and classes are spread out. So it was a fun way to get from class to class. Let's see. The campus is about 200 acres total. Let's see. I chose to stay at Bachman to make memories as a boarding student that I usually couldn't make as if I was at another school, like going caving or going to Washington, D.C. or going snowboarding for the first time. Bachman helps me to do better in life, as in like being more responsible and everything else. It's a really good school. Thank you.
At this time, I ask Miss Diane Craig from our English department to come up and tell us her perspective from the teaching side.
I have to say first, I'm so proud of the students. We asked for a few volunteers and we could not stop them. So they really had something to say. So thank you, guys. My name is Diane Craig, and I'm an English teacher. This is my 7th year here at Bachman. And of course, I had a choice to work in the public or private sector. I'm a product of private and public schools. My children both went to private and public schools. There's nowhere like Bachman. We love our beautiful, picturesque campus. Our students become leaders in their community here as time goes on for them, as you guys can tell. I chose to be here for the tailor-made curriculum that seeks to meet individual student needs. I love that we can slow down or speed up classes to fit the needs of our students, both in middle school and high school. We honor those who learn differently by providing interesting ways of learning. The last question of my interview when I applied to Bachman was, "Can you love these kids?" A wise man said, "Faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love." I have faith that I have something to give these students. I have hope that these students can learn. Curiosity and learning is a natural state for people who feel comfortable and safe. Love. When you love someone, you give them your best. And I love these students. Thanks.
All right, so in closing today, I'll have Miss Bridget Owen, our admissions director, come up and say a few words.
Yes, I'm Bridget Owen, Director of Admissions, and thank you all for coming. It is really a delight to have you all and to learn a little bit about Bachman. And for those of you who are not as familiar with Bachman, it's that we are a school for specific learning needs such as dyslexia, ADHD, and other nonverbal learning differences. And that's what makes us unique. As you noticed and observed, our kids are smart, they're intelligent, they can articulate just as if they were in another school. It's just that they learn differently. And that's what makes us stand out. And so I just want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank the team from Orange Grove. I want to thank Mayor Rowland. I want to thank Daniel Zavala, who is the State Policy Director for Students First Tennessee, and who is also a trained special educator. And he advocates and advises on educational policies for the state of Tennessee. I want to thank our local media, Channel 9 and 12, our headmaster, Mark Frizzell, our staff and our students, and all our wonderful parents. It has really been a delight. I hope you will all take the word out. I hope that you will, what you have learned about Bachman today, you will take it out and bring everyone with special learning needs to us. We love our kids. They are very, very special. Again, thank you for coming. And in the back, we have some hot chocolate with cookies. So enjoy and take more time to learn about us as you speak with our other kids. So. Oh my goodness, how could I forget to thank my wonderful assistant? I know. Sure. I want to thank my wonderful assistant, Pam Murphy, who has been with me. And yes, she was on a roll. She really was, but she was a good, wonderful person. All right, I see Mr. Frizzell has something else to share.
Thank you, Bridget. So I want to finish today up on an article that was written, and it starts out and it says, "Is every parent's greatest hope or aspiration that his or her child is given equality in life, an education that allows them to be productive members of society, the ability to prosper, to go on and make huge differences in a vast global world. We basically want more opportunities than we had for our children. The means by which you assess or evaluate success for your child, whether quantifiably or qualitatively, the underlying root will always fall to the level and quality of education he or she receives." According to a study conducted in late April by the U.S. Department of Education National Institute of Literacy, 32 million adults in the U.S. cannot read. 32 million. That's 14% of our population. 21% of adults in the U.S. read below a 5th grade level, and 19% of high school graduates cannot read. It's total absurdity that we have children who graduate and are unable to read. You have heard the old proverbial adage, one size fits all. The education system is in dire need of change. So bring a broom, it's a mess. If you have a child who has ever struggled in school, either academically or socially, you can attest firsthand to the detriment and inadequacy, allowing to the point of feeling like you have failed as a parent. In my 20-plus years of working with students, I can tell you that every child is not the same. So how can we say that all must pass through the same square entrance? If you have chosen the path to be an educator, I can say this with little doubt. It was not to be famous nor rich. Most, if not all, educators seek a more noble cause, a cause that allows them to give something back, to imprint a child with the greatest gift ever bestowed on another, knowledge. Education can break down barriers that would normally prevent a child from being successful. It tears down the uneducated ignorance of racism, poverty, and provides opportunity where typically only despair resided. So I can say this to you, if you're an educator, you owe every child that opportunity. We must remove the visors that cause us tunnel vision and replace them with unlimited ability to seek out and quench the thirst for knowledge. I recently read an article that stated we were building more prisons than classrooms. This is not the legacy I wish to leave our children, nor do I believe it is one with which we want to be associated. According to the Department of Justice, the link between academic failure and delinquency, violence, and crime is welded to reading failure. The stat backs up this claim. 85% of all juveniles who interface with the juvenile court system are functionally illiterate. And over 70% of inmates in America's prisons cannot read above a 4th grade level, according to begintoread.com. We are lagging behind other countries. 15-year-olds in the U.S. placed 25th out of 30 countries in math performance and 21st in science performance. Reading proficiency among middle, high, and school students isn't much better. If that does not arouse a feeling of sickness, it should. We need to start investing more funding geared towards all types of education, not one type. We need thinking outside the box. The world needs more critical thinkers, less cerebral digesters. I applaud the efforts of National School Choice Week. They're letting parents and educators know how many types of schools, providing many opportunities for your child, no matter the race, cognitive level, or financial status. With so many different types of student learners, whether it be visual, auditory, tactile, kinesthetic, and these are just a tip of the iceberg, we have an obligation to provide different types of schools which directly fit the needs of that child. Therefore, at the end of the day, as you leave the classroom, building or office, and you turn off the light, can you reflect back and say, without doubt, you did everything possible within your ability to provide a pathway of education for our students? Thank you. And ending today, I